it's an excellent opportunity to finally get together and actually speak to the plumbing industry directly and emphasize to them the important role that they play in terms of public health protection. Organizations like the World Plumbing Council are working with us directly to develop guidance documents for high-risk buildings. Organizations like IAPMO are also entering into conversations with us about possible support in the future. So it's developing guidance documents, it can be developing tools. In terms of the people within the room, I mean, I see their role as in the future trying to get the message out to the consumers of the plumbing industry, those that engage the plumbing industry, those that buy plumbing products, to get the message out about the importance of plumbing from a public health perspective.
In relationship to emerging technologies, what is that relationship in terms of trying to fulfill your goals?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about in terms of emerging technologies and where you're looking at putting in place these emerging technologies. If you're looking at something like a small community water supply, whether in a developed or developing country, an emerging technology can either be help or it can be a hindrance. It depends on the type of technology used and how they're applied. So if you're looking at example, something that I call leapfrog technology, it can help you leap over the challenges within a small community. And those are things like, in a developing country, a cell phone that can be used to enter in by the community members the data on risk assessment and communicate that back to a central organization for their review, decision, and then appropriate action. If you're looking at a developed country, you might be looking at something more like remote sensing, where you actually put something on the water treatment facility that can look at pressure and levels of chlorine, and again, sending that back to a central organization. So if you don't have someone within the community to do those sorts of tests, you can actually get someone who, real time looks at the data and again puts in place the appropriate action. At the same time, technology can be a hindrance in a small water supply. If you put in a really fancy water treatment plant and no one can operate and maintain it after 3 years, and you've spent a huge amount of money, well, where are you? Are you further ahead, or are you back where you started? If you think about it in terms of if you're living in a community that's remote and isolated, would you buy a Ferrari or would you put in place, would you buy a truck, a Ford truck? If you know the mechanic within your community can only deal with a Ford truck, well, that's what you buy. Same thing with the technologies that we're using. So in terms of the role the plumbing industry can play, possibly setting up a clearinghouse of technologies that work or that don't work within small water supplies. How are they applied? What was the difference between it working and not working? So there's lots of roles the plumbing industry can play, and we need to sit down and be more creative about engaging the plumbing industry and the plumbing community.